Okay, everything seems to actually be working. So let's dive into our first actual play of Acheron. The very, very professional, definitely not run by one person out of a living room, actual play. So,
Amazing.
this is a very much work in progress one shot for the beta, and being very much a work in progress, there is going to be stuff that changes, but we want to play it and share it and get it out there. So, here is the background. We have an agent by the name of Abel Damon, a demonic dark leecher, and a investigator that generally investigates mundane things, but every now and again, eldritch cultists named Montgomery Lafayette, who is a normal human. Both of these entities got a sealed manila envelope from the central government agents.
Do you want to click on the text? Like the envelope they got, like the text box?
What are you talking about?
No, what you sent everybody else.
I'm going to read it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So, they received this in the envelope. Outlined below, in chronological order, are the known events surrounding the loss of communication with Duckshaw, a small farming community in the backcountry of District 36. Item 1. Duckshaw reports that harvest is on schedule. Item 2. Duckshaw fails to deliver their quota of grain on time to the Freeman Distribution Center. Item 3. A local sheriff is sent to Duckshaw to investigate. Item 4. The sheriff does not report back to the Freeman-run district government. Item 5. A group of Freeman law enforcement, accompanied by a nightmare, deploy to Duckshaw. Item 6. 2 days without contact with this group triggers the government of District 36 to contact the local embassy. Central government agent assistance is requested and granted. Item number 7. Agent Octopus is delegated the case. His correspondence is as follows. I've selected a junior agent and an outside investigator to look into the happening at Duckshaw. While it is likely that the town was overtaken with pro-anarchist sentiment, we cannot rule out the supernatural due to the disappearance of a nightmare during their investigation. Duckshaw is a small town with a small population. It is highly unlikely that they could deal with the law enforcement which the Freemen deployed alone. Be on guard for a trap. If anarchists have taken a full harvest, even from a town as small as Duckshaw, it will lead to emboldened attacks throughout the year. Discover the reason for the disappearances. If anarchism is found in District 36, remove it root and stem. Signed, Agent Octopus, notarized by Deborah Lestrol. Notable persons in Duckshaw. Jeremiah Salters, Mayor of Duckshaw, Eldritch Darkleecher. Olivia Mortiz, Foreman of Distribution, Demonic Darkleecher. Yoni Silvertongue, Nightmare, Missing in Action, Fey Darkleecher. Jasper Ivo, Sheriff, Missing in Action, Demonic Darkleecher. Best of luck on your first assignment, agents. Deborah Lestrol. So, the agent and the investigator were sent early in the morning on a train to get as close to Duckshaw as possible. They were picked up by a elderly Darkleecher man who is a Fey Darkleecher named Montrose. This man drove them to the outskirts of Duckshaw, and we open this game with them being dropped off on location, around a mile up road. Is there anything you two would like to cover with each other before entering the town of Duckshaw, or ask Mr. Montrose?
So, you go.
What?
No? Okay. I was going to say, do we know much about the nightmare, besides that he is a anti-Mansa Mansa?
So, what you know about nightmares in general is that they are the Freeman government's commandos slash military police. So if there's any major issues within Freeman-held lands, Freeman-held districts, they will oftentimes use nightmares to take care of it before contacting the central government. If they have to contact agents, it is sort of seen as a folly on their parts, just because they don't like having outside assistance in general as a culture. So you guys being here is them sort of admitting failure, and one of the reasons why Agent Octopus thinks this is probably a bigger incursion of anarchists than anything else.
All right. Okay. So, assuming that this isn't a we're going to get attacked on site situation, which probably wouldn't be, you'd hope. Do we go in admitting who we are, or do we keep that on the hush?
Well, I would prefer we just keep it hush hush until we think it's safe enough to reveal who we are. We are just a two-man crew just seeing what's going on here, so I think subterfuge might be the best course of action.
Exactly. Like this, the train stopped off here. We got off to catch some air, take a little break from a long train ride. We're just looking around.
Yeah. That sounds like a
start.
good course of action.
Montrose gets out of the car, lights up a cigar, starts smoking it, just waiting for you guys to do whatever. He has been ordered to essentially wait for you until nightfall, which is in around an hour. After nightfall comes, he's supposed to leave if he doesn't hear anything back from you.
Okay. So we don't necessarily have to solve all the problems here. We just need to determine what the problem is enough that more can be done. I mean, solving the problem would be the best thing to do,
Obviously.
but set our expectations low and work up from there.
I greatly enjoy how you think.
All right.
Would you like us to...
So,
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, yeah, let's mosey in. Let's mosey in.
Okay. As you're moseying in, Montrose watches you go, says, "Good luck."
Yeah, you too. Don't die of hypothermia.
I'll do my best. Would you both describe your characters?
Would you like to start, partner?
Yeah. I'll go with pretty simple with it. Montgomery Lafayette is he's not particularly tall, he's not particularly short, he's very average in a lot of ways. He's got a bit of he hasn't shaved in a couple of days, and he kind of feels bad about it, but not enough to actually do it. He's wearing a bright red vest with a bit of a jacket over it, with a layer of flak in the jacket, just in case things do get hairy. But for the most part, he's looking quite presentable. He's got that rugged, but not anywhere near alluring look to him. And he's comfortable where he is in his skin. He could be in different skin though. He'd prefer different skin. That's kind of where he's at.
Fantastic. Abel has nicotine yellow skin with two places kind of like where Hellboy's horns would be, but like he shaved them down. Kind of deal to look more human or more sleek, if you will. And he has matching a gray pinstripe suit that has an endless supply of cigarettes in each one of its pockets, as he's kind of been smoking with the windows kind of closed this whole time.
Yeah, Montgomery didn't smoke during the trip, but now the second they're outside, he's kind of like gesturing. He's kind of gesturing towards the cigarettes, going, "You got one? Can you?"
Oh yeah, like my character just reaches in a pocket and then gives you a few crumpled cigarettes.
Gentleman and a scholar. And Monty would just like he has his own. He already had a lighter. He was out of cigarettes on the trip.
Yeah, I never get caught without him.
You're a wise person. Good for the lungs.
Really clears out all the hay fever.
Just all the pollen. It just gets rid of it.
All right, so you guys are approaching from this southern road. It is flat land here that slopes slightly upward as you're approaching Duckshaw. Now, along the sides of the road are trees that have been planted, obviously as windbreaks for the farmland to either side. But with the sun being semi-down, it is fairly dark on the road. It's sort of that pre-evening shadow when you're in a forest on a late hike.
Sun's hitting the horizon.
Yeah. It's still sitting above it a little bit, because you do have about an hour of full light left, but because of all the trees, it is like you are getting that filtered light in between, but it is cut down quite a bit. So, trees lining the road, you're walking on it. It is a dirt road. It is enough for 2 cars to drive one way and then the other. And through the trees on either side, you can see farmland stretching out pretty much as far as the eye can see, with a couple of farmhouses on the different lots.
This is one of those situations where I feel like I'd be remiss not to attempt some sort of spot kind of check to see if there's anything like immediately wrong from a distance.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I've got nothing in spot, but
Well, I do, and I rolled a 9.
So do you not have the skill spot?
not even a bit in it.
Okay, so just roll a blanket wisdom. So the DC is technically higher to notice things, but it is just a general wisdom score.
Okay, let's go. So just a flat 20, was it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, add your wisdom modifier if you have it.
Oh, okay, wisdom I have. I indeed got some wisdom in me. That's an extra 2, so yeah, 14.
14. Okay, so you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, other than there is no tracks, no fresh tracks on the road while you're walking up.
So either that means nobody has walked up this road in a while from the train station, which is tricky to believe, or they have and the tracks have been covered. One or the other. Bad sign.
Yeah, this place, even though it's a small town, should have way more foot traffic. How does the build, like, does anything, like, ahead of us, like, buildings-wise, is there any broken windows or any sign of disrepair from this far away?
So from this far away, you're still mainly seeing the farmhouses to either side, and not the main town open up. But once you get to the main town, roll me another spot check.
Okay. This one's a 15.
15. Okay. So you're seeing these first couple of houses
Yeah.
in that section, and they do not look like there's been any disrepair for a long time or anything like that. You do notice in the first one, there is a broken window on that side. Let me get a better shade. So there is a broken window, but it's hard to tell if it was broken on accident or if someone was like jumping through it to get out or breaking into it to get in. It could have been a kid throwing a ball or a rock. You just would have to go closer.
Okay.
Monty's at a point where he's slowed down his pace quite a bit, and his hand is like on his gun. It's on his 9mm, just in case anything jumps out. Because when it's at this point where it's eerily not much going on, but there is sign of things not being correct, there's enough to worry about.
Yeah. I'm gonna... You see my character pull out a knife from the inside of his dress coat, and it's a big old combat knife. And I kind of stow it away along my forearm with my arm down as I try to stealthily walk towards the broken window.
Okay, roll me a stealth.
That stealth check is a 16.
16. Okay. So, are you going with him, Lafayette?
No, I'm gonna keep a bit of distance. I'm gonna keep like a good distance away. Like he's walking ahead, I'm staying on the road.
Okay. So I'm
just keeping a watch from afar.
I'm assuming that Abel's around there, Lafayette is still on the road. So you get up to the window, and you see that because of the way it is broken, the glass is broken to the inside.
Okay, so someone broke into it.
Yes.
I look into the room. Is there anything of note?
Either roll me a spot or investigate if you're going to take a little time.
I'm going to roll and investigate because I do that a little bit better.
Could I assist by yelling over, look at the door from the inside, see if it's locked?
You could, but it would kind of be a little bit of a shout.
Okay.
I rolled a 23.
Okay, never mind.
No, I just rolled really well.
Okay.
That's good.
So you look inside, and what you see is the glass broken inward, shattered all over the floor.
Yeah.
There is a jug of milk and some cookies sitting on what is the dining/living room table.
I ate that.
The milk has gone sour, obviously. The cookies have been eaten halfway by bugs. There's some bugs still on the milk, some flies on the cookies. Everything else in this room seems totally normal. There's no scuff marks, claw marks, the furniture is not broken, no vases, no pictures. The door is locked, not broken, and there is a little bit of salt spilled across the door and going to the table.
Okay. I know of the occult. Does this look like a spell?
Roll me an occult check.
Okay. 16.
So there's a couple different spells that use salt. It's both used in casting of spells and rituals, and also sometimes for warding.
Yeah.
You're not able to tell which way this would have been being used, or if it's even being used like that, because it's not making any symbols. It could just be someone spilled a jar of salt.
Okay. After seeing this, I'm gonna kind of like low hunch crawl back to the road, and then
As you do this, Monty is like looking, oh god, what's he seen?
and I'm gonna go back to Monty and be like, it doesn't look like anyone's been here for a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is that it? Like, like crouching, like, oh, no one has been here. I'm gonna crouch walk back. Like, what's going on in there?
I like to keep a low profile, man.
Very low. All right.
But looks like they're like bugs are everywhere all over food that has just been like laid out. It looks like someone was right in the middle of eating something and then had to leave. Was the door locked?
It was locked from the inside. Yes.
And it was locked from the inside, but someone broke the window going in. So none of this makes sense.
Yeah, something clearly is very wrong here.
Do you I have to ask you a personal question.
I'm single.
Not that personal of a question.
Thank God.
How paranoid are you as a person generally?
Well, funny you should mention. In situations such as this, I would describe myself as incredibly paranoid.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'm mostly fine. But when there's clearly something wrong and we're told that there is a rogue magician that has gone missing investigating this place, yeah, paranoia is big.
Very fair. Very fair.
Well, you getting at something? You got a theory?
No, I was just wondering on how would you like to approach, because we can either go down that lonesome road that an ambush could happen at any moment,
There is this nice main road that you guys could travel down.
or we can basically just travel on the fields and see what we can see from out there, see if there's any activity.
I see what you're getting at, and I love it. We're doing that.
Fantastic.
Okay, so you guys start. Are you going through the fields, or are you going around the fields, like around the outside?
I think it'd be better to stay in the fields, but at the edge so we can peek through.
Okay.
Yeah.
See if we spot anything towards the actual town.
So
town
you
proper.
guys are traveling through the fields,
Mm-hmm.
like so. Okay. Are you trying to stay generally hidden?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start going through the fields. Now these are fields of wheat and barley. So it's not like huge, tall cornfields, but you can still stay fairly hidden very easily. Now, as you're going through the fields, what are you guys concentrating on? What are you looking at? Are you concentrating on the town, making sure that you're not leaving any traces? What are you trying to do?
I'm focusing on looking for signs of life, like anything moving, anything in the windows, anything in hidden corners, or anything waiting. Anything that could become a threat is my kind of focus.
Okay.
If he's looking at the town, then I'm going to be kind of looking behind us and towards the fields and stuff like that to make sure there's no one doing what we're doing.
Okay. So there's no one sneaking about.
Hey, what you doing? Sneaking? Yeah.
Okay, so I want you both to roll either a spot or a listen check. And then tell me which one you're rolling. If you don't have either, just roll wisdom.
I'm rolling spot.
It's
13.
going to end up being wisdom for me, so that is 17 plus 2? 1. Wait. How's that 2? It should be... Oh, no, that should... Is that 2? That's a 1. So that's 18.
18? Okay, so 4, you said you were spotting?
Yeah.
Okay, so as Abel's crawling through the grain, his little hunch, I'm assuming, you get a little bit surprised because the wheat opens up briefly and there is a scarecrow looking down on you with its leather rags and pumpkin head. And that's all that you're able to see, because there's no one else, as far as you can glean, in these fields doing anything.
Okay.
Now, Lafayette, you are just kind of generally trying to scope things out. You don't see or hear any movement other than your own.
Hooray. That means safety.
That does indeed usually mean safety.
Hooray.
So, without any issue, you guys make it all the way to this sort of second major field and are in it, and it's the one that is close to the more pinker building, the one that's labeled 3.
All right. This, I think, like, can we see like the door on building 3, or a visible door at least?
Yeah, so building 3, just passively, it is built differently than all the other buildings. All the other buildings are brick and mortar with either wood or tin roofs, except for the case of a lot of the farmhouses actually in their fields. Those ones are generally older and made only of wood. Building 3 is the only stylized wooden building in the town, and it looks a lot like a scaled up igloo, and instead of a door, it has a lot of those hanging beads, except it's not just beads, it's beads and baubles and wind chimes and feathers and a bunch of stuff like that strung in front of it.
Okay.
So entering obviously is going to make a lot of noise, but it doesn't have an actual door.
I'm
This is
gonna
one of those cases where I was gonna say Monty is gonna be pointing at that and going, "Something's up there. Something we need to ascertain is going on with that building."
I'm gonna use one of my well-read abilities to just do a general knowledge check on, is this normal?
Okay, go for it.
11.
So, you've read a lot of books throughout your junior agent's training. They make you study basically every single district and its culture.
Yeah.
And you know in Freeman districts, which this District 36 is a Freeman district, and it's one of the farthest away from the central government, a lot of mysticism is practiced here. So a lot of those like hanging chimes and strung out feathers and stuff like that are just general mysticism wardings, or say like dream catchers are for catching the dreams of bad spirits and stuff like that. All of this you don't really think has any real life application.
Yeah.
It's mysticisms.
Quick second, 1 second.
I just turn to you and I just go, this is not really out of the ordinary. This is just, superstition, stuff of that. It's probably the closest thing they have to a church out here.
Sorry about that. Back.
It's all good.
I'm going to exit the field, and then I'm gonna look like the closest thing I can be to a Damon lawyer kind of walk.
Okay.
As I walk towards the church.
So you're going that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to look obvious, but like if I belong here kind of walk.
Okay. Montgomery, what are you doing?
So, have we seen signs of people, or is it just a church? Weird church.
Everything has been silent and still.
All right. Montgomery is going to take Damon's like lead,
Mm-hmm.
and is going to try to casually follow,
Okay. So you're
as
both...
casually as he can with a hand on a gun. But
Okay.
the gun's not out. But he's got a hand on it.
So you're both going this way. I would like. Do any of you have sensitive?
I do.
Okay.
I do not.
So, Montgomery, please make any roll that you think would be useful in this situation, whether that's just a general perception wisdom roll or like a knowledge or anything like that. Abel, I want you to roll sensitive for me,
Okay.
which is just
Good
flat
roll.
20. And that is a nat 20.
Well, I was going to say I was going to roll a cult. Should I still roll a cult?
Yeah, still roll occult, and because it's going to give you different information, sensitive is sort of the aura of the place, whereas occult, you might notice some markings or something like that that will clue you into things. So go ahead and
5
roll.
plus 5? No, I've got a 10.
A 10? Okay, as you approach this place, you kind of get the same overall general idea that this is some sort of like mystic gathering place or like a house of healing, something like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is a place where real functional magic is done, but that's just what you know. You would have to go inside and look around a little to confirm that. Now, with a roll of 20 for sensitive, you get very strong feelings, not just from this building, but from the entire town. Layered spirit magic, demonic magic. The demonic magic seems more focused at a point across the river. The spirit magic seems very spread out throughout the entire town, but you are getting a small ping from this building. This building, if you were to be drawn to the spirit energies, would be the focal point.
I'm gonna look physically taken aback after getting this premonition, and I'm gonna take a quick hand on my chest breather.
Monty's like, I think they might do medicine here. Wait, what's up with you? Do you need medicine?
There's a lot more magical energies in this town than I think would be typically here. I mean, some of the spirit magic makes sense for this type of town, you know? But I feel a weird demonic presence that is not my own.
Alright.
And there's something different about this building.
The nightmare that they sent was a who? What was he again?
The nightmare that was sent was a Fey Dark Leecher. They didn't give you any information about what he was capable of. That is something that is generally very under wraps, even when reporting to the central government. If the local government thought that it was something that needs to be communicated, they would have communicated it. But if it's just an operative, so say he was just a pyromancer, for instance, they wouldn't necessarily communicate that because they want to keep their agents' ability secret, even from the government.
Alright. So, from what we've got so far, we can deduce that magic is indeed involved in a big way here. Most of the town's population seems to not be spread out. It might be isolated in some particular building or dispersed outside of the town itself.
Hey.
But
oh, sorry.
I'm just very I'm theory crafting here. You can jump in. You got something.
Now, keep on theory crafting. I'm just how familiar are you with magic?
Not particularly. I'm kind of like I study the concepts. I don't know it intimately. I don't do magic. I try to avoid it where at all possible.
All right. I'm sorry if this is going to be mildly disturbing.
Probably.
I pull out a giant pack, like that you buy at the store at like bulk of salt, and I start making a giant circle around the mysticism building to prepare containment ward.
Okay. So, Montgomery, are you going to wait for him to finish and just sort of stand by?
Yeah, Monty's going to stand guard because this is a situation where he clearly knows what he's doing. He brought a bag of salt.
Okay, so I want you.
He'll handle this.
I want you able to roll that ritual for me.
Okay.
Is that would that be an occult check for that?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That was a solid 19.
What was the risk?
The risk was 10.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just up the DC by 1. But I'm gonna have to pay the cost of that.
Okay. So what's the DC and what's the cost?
The DC is gonna be 14.
Okay.
And I'm looking up the cost presently.
So for containment ward, what it does is it prevents anything that is supernatural in nature from exiting the containment ward. So if you guys go into it, like to investigate the building, then nothing, like there's no protections that it grants you, but you would be able to, if something goes very, very awry, run away.
1.
So we'd be able to leave the circle, and whatever chases us out wouldn't be able to leave the circle still.
Exactly. All right. So, and the cost for all demonic magic is health, and Abel lost 1 health. So gets a little nosebleed as he chants towards the sky to complete the containment ward.
Yeah, you just see me put a salt circle around it, and then you see me while I'm doing this, I'm chewing a stick of chalk, and you see me put a picture that is black and white of a female dark leecher on the salt right in front of the mystical door. And I just go, all right. And then I spit out some of the chalk with blood. Just don't knock into anything. And we should be all right.
Monty's just kind of watching this display, and he's like, yeah, magic, right?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Magic, right? As I'm wiping blood like from my nose.
He's kind of like leaning back a little bit, going, Jesus, you do this often? Is this like a common thing for you?
Sometimes.
My condolences to your dentist, let's go with.
Yeah. As like my eye is like twitching and visibly like bloodshot. Yeah.
Okay. So, 2 things. 1, you have about half hour of sunlight left. After that point, your ride may or may not decide to leave. He doesn't seem like a man who's spooked by much. But he was told to leave shortly after sundown. 2,
That's an additional thing to it. How far away was the train station?
so the train station would be about a 5-mile, 6-mile walk.
Okay.
Just because small towns like this need to be easily accessed by the trains so that they can take whatever foodstuffs they're shipping to the train station and ship it out very quickly. So it was a short ride, and if you had to walk back, it wouldn't be terrible. It would just take some time.
It would be very annoying if we had to do that. But survivable.
Yeah.
Very much so.
All right.
I don't think we need to worry about the car. I mean, that much. Just because we can legally commandeer any car that we find in here for government
Yeah, you can do that.
government stuff. All right, I'm gonna walk into this
God,
building.
that with me.
Are you guys going into the building together?
Yeah, Monty is definitely going in after, but Monty is going in.
All
Okay.
right.
So, You guys push through all of these beads and feathers and chimes, and it's making quite a bit of noise. Compared to the very silent backdrop of the town, it's a racket. It is almost deafening to be in the center of it. It opens up into a 30-foot circle with a completely open space. There is some dividers, those standing dividers made out of wood that are blocking off the left back corner and the right back corner. The front section has a couple different tables that look somewhat like they're used for food on one side, on the right side, and on the left side for like herbal mixing and stuff like that. There's garlic hanging from the ceiling and sage and a bunch of different herbs and spices. There's jugs of different liquids. It's pretty evident that this is some sort of healer's house and not a place of worship like it might have been. You can see everything except that which is behind those two separate dividers on the right and left. Nothing jumps out at you. Nothing spooky happens.
Alright, so enough spookiness has occurred here that the gun is now out. The gun is now in hand.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go for an occult to see if I can identify any like imagery or use of particular substances that would lead to some of this stuff going on.
Okay. Roll me that occult.
Come on, let me do that. That is 19.
19. Okay. So you can tell from all the stuff here that about half of it is useless. But the other half, some of the made potions and poultices are actually real spirit magic that you have read about and that reportedly in these texts you've read and from the experiences you've had do work. So this is the home of someone who is a healer who actually knows generally what they're doing. They're not extremely experienced, likely, because they're still using things that you know probably don't actually work. The other thing you notice is that at the edges of the entire building, there is different diagrams in salt. It's not any big like circle around the entire interior, but there are different salt diagrams that have been made up.
Monty relays this to Damon with a, well, it's not eldritch. It would smell a lot worse if it was eldritch. It's not demon. It would smell a lot bloodier if it was a demon.
Yeah.
This looks like it's some sort of spiritualist stuff.
So
They
both of
know
you,
most of what they're doing.
real quick, roll me flat wisdom rolls.
All right.
Flat with that is 13.
So you both, when you say it would smell a lot bloodier, you both immediately notice the scent of iron is thick in the air.
Like, Monty finishes what he's saying. He's, hang on a second. No, that's definitely blood.
Yeah, I smell it too. And as I I'm like poking at my nose that it's already bloody. I pull out like my combat knife, and with the blood that has been in my hand, I just put my blood on the knife, and I go towards one of the dividers.
Okay. Is it the one on the right or the left?
The right.
Okay. Monty, are you going to the same divider? Are you staying back? Or are you checking out the one on the left? What are you doing?
Monty is going to keep his distance from the... He's going to check out the one on the left, but he's going to do it from like a distance. He's not going to like lean around the corner. He's going to like take like a good berth and peek around.
Okay.
Like hold it held in his hip. He's not taking too many risks.
Okay. So, around the right,
Yeah.
you see a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice fluffy down bed, pillow, blanket, nightstand, cup of water half drank.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Completely normal. You go around to the left, Monty, and you see a sort of like other panel that's half blocking off a restroom, and it has a wash basin and then a sort of standing wardrobe, and in front of the wardrobe is a small carpet that has been flipped back, and it is revealing a trap door.
All right. Got something over here, Damon.
Yeah. Like I'm like sniffing the cup of water as you like, and I come over and I go, oh. Well,
Yeah.
that looks fun and ominous.
Yeah, this looks like exactly the type of thing that we're not going to open because of terror. Like whatever bad is happening, I feel like is going to end up being down there.
Well, we're here to investigate, and then I tap you on the chest as I
You're
go
completely
over.
correct.
Like I give you a hearty tap on the chest, and then I get my knife ready as I grab with one hand on the trapdoor, and then I give you the look of like aim at whatever comes out.
Yep. So Monty like goes, oh god, he just raises the gun, points at it, and goes, thank God we're so brave.
And I pull open the trapdoor.
Okay, I need both of you to roll spot, listen, or wisdom.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic! This is a great sign. Okay, let's go.
Mine is a spot at a 4.
It's all the same to me, so I did a little bit better with an 18.
Okay, so
a tad.
the door flips open. Abel is not paying attention to what's in the hole. Monty, you hear an ear-pitching scream, like a little child screaming at the top of their lungs, and you're staring into pitch darkness.
Close
And
it,
then
close
there's
it,
a
close it.
flash.
Oh, God.
What do you do?
Alright. There's a flash.
Yeah, there's a flash. It's
Okay, yeah.
semi-blind.
Monty literally was saying, close it, close it, close it. And then is now squinting, covering his eyes with one arm, with the gun still pointed in the vague direction of the trapdoor.
Okay. Do you close it real quick?
So, like, from my character's perspective, I can't really hear anything. There was a giant flash. I am going to kind of feel if there's anything right at the top of the trapdoor before I kick it, like closed.
Okay. You reach your hand in,
Yeah.
and you feel flesh. I want you to roll me a sanity saving throw
Okay.
at whatever your middling sanity is.
Okay,
So
supernatural.
at 10.
I made it.
Okay. So you make the sanity check. You realize this is the flesh of a child. Like, you're grabbing a child by the top of the face.
Oh.
But it has a little bit of, like, tufts of fur to it.
I just go, don't shoot! But I'm just gonna
Why?
then just like hold the head with the knife and go, don't shoot!
Okay. Oh, Lord.
Okay, so there is another scream. It is not as loud, and then a child's voice says, help me?
Do I regain vision?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna blink, look at the kid's face that I'm grabbing, and just go, "It's okay." As there's a little bit of my blood left on the kid's face.
Why are you lying like this?
So, upon further inspection, there is a small spirit dark leecher who has been tucked under the floorboards, surrounded by salt.
Okay.
And they're just staring up at you two, hands over their ears, trying to get in a fetal position, obviously terrified, but a little less scared, the normal amount of scared that you'd think a kid would be after they are exposed from their hiding place, and then realize that it might be okay because adults are here.
All right.
So the door is open. There's a yellow man, with horns, with a knife, and a weird drunkard with a gun. So, yeah, safety.
Kids are dumb, man.
Kids are dumb. Thank God. All right.
I'm gonna let go of the kid, and then I'm gonna put my knife what I'm gonna do is put my knife behind my back and then kind of toss it behind me.
Okay.
And be like, "It's all okay," and then reveal both hands don't have weapons in them. We were sent by the Daemon. Those fancy lawyers.
So the child is still kind of sobbing, shaking in fear, but grabs onto you in a hug.
Monty does not know how to deal with children at all, and will instead look at everything else in the room but the child.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna pick up the kid like if it was a wet cat. And then I'm gonna wheel it over to the bed
Okay.
that I found on the other side and sit it down. Does the water look weird at all?
The water in the glass?
Yeah.
It looks old. There's some dead bugs in it, some
Okay.
dead gnats.
I'm gonna toss it out and be like, just sit here, Monty.
What?
Take care of the kid real quick. And
Alright.
I'm gonna look for some water to fill the glass.
Okay. Out where all the reagents are, you can find a jug or two of what seems to be water.
Okay, I'm gonna take a little sip before I give it to the kid.
Okay. Roll investigate before you take a sip of any of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah,
I would
That's a
I would
solid.
like to take this moment of rolling to roll psychology
Okay.
to see if this kid's in shock or traumatized, and exactly if I can determine what from basics of things I've seen. And I've got that's a 15.
Okay. So, you're able to sniff a few of the jugs, go, "Oh, that's acid." Strong acid. Go, "All right, this one smells like water." Take a swig and you're like, "Ah, nice spring water." And so you find water. Monty, you know from your experience with psychology that this child is on the edge of being completely broken. They're holding on to a very, very thin line, and you think that they probably at this point are having trouble telling reality from their nightmare that they've been living in.
All right. Okay.
The child is still shaking, stammering, not able to get any full sentences out. But
Monty
keeps looking at you and then looking away. They're not sure if you're actually there.
Monty kind of does a look around the room to see if there's any other way he can avoid engaging with the child, but he's like, no, I've gotta. He goes, okay. Remember what I learned in Psych 101. Okay. So hey kid, I'm Monty. What's your name?
It's Anna. I'm Anna, and she
Hey Anna.
starts rocking back and forth and pulls essentially a like burlap sack that's being used as a cloak closer around herself, and then now refuses to look at you.
Well, hey Anna. As I said, I'm Monty. This is my friend Damon, and we're here to help. Can you do you have any family around? He asks it and he regrets it to an extent. He feels like it's almost self-evident, but
Oof. So you say, do you have any family around? Her eyes glaze over, and she is gone. She is now still, and she is just sitting there with a 1,000-yard stare.
so
Okay.
I have an ability for this. So as I see that asking about her family did not go down well, I'm assuming she's taking sanity damage. So I have the ability Pep Talk. So
Perfect.
as I see her start to glaze over, I go, whoa, it's okay. We're here to help. We're here to help. We want to help you get to safety. We just need you to answer a few questions, and we'll get you somewhere safe.
Okay, so
Pep Talk. Yep. Pep Talk being re-rolling the sanity and hopefully regaining some sanity.
Hopefully. Okay, so she starts to go into a stupor, and then exits it as you keep talking to her, and she starts rocking back and forth again. She's now looking at you as if she is sizing you up. Like she's not sure what exactly is your deal. Keep in mind that this is a Dark Leecher child in the sticks, and humans are very rare out here.
So that's why I'm going to make a very good first impression.
Yes.
So it's like,
I'm gonna just round the corner with like the cup of water and give it to the kid, and just be like, "Have some water. Drink."
Monty
that."
looks incredibly relieved when you return.
Okay, so she takes the water, she starts drinking it with both hands, and has both her hands go up, her shoulders rotate back, and the burlap cloak that's kind of covering her falls off her back. And I need both of you to roll a supernatural sanity check.
My specialty. Surely I won't fail this. Thank God I didn't fail that. 13, so I'm fine.
Okay, so you're totally fine. Abel Damon is having quite the issue. So the sack falls away, and what you see are a bunch of fresh cut and scar marks, almost as if they've been made with claws, that form into a picture of a 6-legged, 2-headed beast that seems to be, due to the way that all of the scar marks and cut marks are, moving around slightly in this little girl's back. You're gonna having rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
Abel Damon is taking double the sanity damage,
Yeah.
which is 2d6. So this might go very poorly.
Okay. I lost 7 straight up.
Oh,
Gonna tick 7 out of my 10 before a
feel-
psychotic break.
I feel really bad that I used Pep Talk on this chick.
That's fine.
Agents are built to take punishment. Mental, physical, social.
Monty just kind of like, he sees it happening, he just kind of looks away and just like bites his lip going, oh.
like, Abel looks at her like someone watching a car accident and can't look away. And then I go, can I roll a occult check? Because demonic's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, you can roll an occult check.
Okay, I rolled a 19 total.
Okay, I need you to make another supernatural sanity check.
Fantastic.
Because you know all the secrets. Oh my
Another
god!
nat one.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Is this about to be like the solo part of the buddy cop movie?
Maybe.
Carrying you and a child out of the town.
I just want to say that this is not staged, but we get to show what a psychotic break looks like, probably.
Oh, hooray!
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Okay, that's 4.
I still break. I still have a break. Oh my gosh. All right. So,
Hooray!
okay.
Mechanics.
Roll.
I'm gonna roll the d6.
Okay.
What's your sanity right now?
It's it was from 50, so
It's 40.
Yeah, now it's in the 40
Okay,
range.
so I believe that is a 5 and a 6 is a merit,
yeah.
and anything else is a flaw.
4 isn't.
4 isn't? Okay. It's a 2.
It's a flaw.
You get
Okay.
a flaw. So when you have psychotic breaks, and this is why you need to monitor your sanity pretty heavily, you can end up getting merits and flaws. The more sanity you lose over time, so the lower your overall score, the more likely you are to both get a merit and a flaw. So if you have someone that's teetering on the edge of insanity, you can actually pile up merits. But that, in this case, did not happen.
That did not happen at all, actually. Fun fact.
So great! It's so great that we get to show off mechanics, guys. It's great.
I know. I feel like that would have been a great thing to stage, but it wasn't staged at all, and it makes it so much better. I can't believe you lost that much sanity.
Dude, I am
already.
so mad that I rolled 2 nat 1s for sanity, like, almost in a row. Well, I mean, like, both sanity, like, Supernatural's my standard. Like, it's like a 50-50 chance, and I was just like, my character was like, I'm not ready to anything bad happening to children. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Okay, so I gain a flaw. So do you want me to roll randomly?
Yeah, go ahead and roll
Okay,
randomly.
let's see what the
You
dice.
roll another one. 3 in a-
Okay, so weakness +2 to sanity DC of the source of the damage. So is this demonic magic?
It's demonic magic.
Oh,
technically,
God. As a demonic caster, this is not optimal.
We'll break it down a little more because you are a demonic caster. This is demonic summoning.
Oh, God.
So anything to do with any sort of summoned demonic creature. So if you're fighting a demonic
Okay.
creature, you know, that would have been summoned somehow, some way, that's going to be rough. If you ever try or run into anything being summoned, that's going to be really rough. But I will I will delegate that it's not going to be just demonic magic, so you can still cast a spell.
Okay.
Okay, what you learned in that moment of sheer terror
Yeah.
is that this little girl has been soul linked to a demonic creature. For that to happen, it can't be your standard, like, imp or lowly hellhound or something like that. So this is at least a tier 3 demonic creature that she has been soul linked to. That means that if the demonic creature dies, she acts as a backup life. The creature would die, its soul would travel, connect with her soul, devour her soul, and use her body to be reborn. This is a very messed up spell.
Okay, so
It is a spell that is used by lower demonic casters, lower skill demonic casters, to summon greater entities, because the promise of a soul bond, especially with a child, is very enticing for them.
okay. I'm gonna. You see my character stand up and walk So, yeah, and I'm gonna walk out. Even if I, like, half the last sanity damage, I would still have a psychotic break. But I'm just gonna vomit outside.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna go through the loud charm chains and shit like that, and then gonna go outside of the demonic circle, like, containment ward that I just made.
Yeah.
And just vomit outside.
Okay. You do indeed vomit outside. You'll have that, so you still took enough to have the break,
Yeah.
but you're just on the other edge of that break.
Yeah.
You didn't then lose more. So that is where everything is. The little girl.
Montgomery, during all this, he's just kind of, he's like, okay, the kid's hurt, but it's gonna be okay. He's like, he finishes looking away, looks back, says, hey, he's like, hey, Damon, how are you doing? And Damon's walking out. He's like, oh, that's where we're at. Okay, now I have to engage with this child some more. Time to be a good, responsible adult. Okay, child. Anna, little Anna.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what can you tell me who you know in this town?
I know. I knew everyone.
Oh, okay. Did you know the mayor?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what's happened to the mayor? Is he involved in any of this?
Everyone's gone. They took them.
They took them. Okay. And he kind of reaches up and kind of like he's pinching at his brow. It's like, do you know where they took them?
They took them to the fields. They took them to the fields, and she just starts repeating it over and over again.
Okay.
Getting quieter and quieter, and then she takes the sack, wraps it around herself, and starts shaking like she's in the middle of a freezing tundra. She just starts shaking uncontrollably.
Monty, in a moment of feeling obligated to care about a child, takes off his coat and puts it over her shoulders. He's not putting it on her properly. It would look comic. It would look comedic on her. But he's just putting it on her shoulders and going, "It's all right. So we're gonna get you somewhere safe, and we're gonna get you some help, and then maybe you'll be able to help us, help find out where they went in the fields, huh?"
So she's
Would you be able to do that?
she's crying now, and she just sniffles, looks up at you, and shakes her head yes.
Okay, that's great. He stands back up, takes the coat off of her, puts it back on because that's a flat coat. He needs that. And he's looking to the door and he's kind of just hoping that Damon's done doing whatever Damon's doing outside.
So
I am just
back up.
sucking down cigarettes at this point, and I'm just like having a glazed look at the fields as my like arms are crossed, and I'm just like murmuring to myself, "Fucking amateur hour." As like I'm fucking like pissed and like holding back tears and just fucking mad, like angry crying outside.
okay. So I want you, because you're outside, to roll a listen check.
Okay. 5.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
Oh, isn't that just the best?
Dude, Damon's having a rough day.
Junior Agent's first mission! Are you ready to party with the big boys? Agent Octopus is just at home in a bath drinking a brandy. He's like, it's probably fine.
Monty's like, man, I want to be an agent so bad. Look at this guy, he's so cool. He saw a kid get hurt, he's just going out for a cigarette, he's fine. So yeah, Monty's gonna offer Anna his hand and go, come on, let's get walking. We gotta get out of here.
Okay, she looks at your hand for a little while, and then she grasps onto it with both hands and is sort of hanging on to you as her life vest in a sinking ship.
Accurate.
When you go outside, please make me a wisdom check.
Okay, here we go. Here comes my rolls. It's a 7. Wait, no, it's a 6.
Do I see him, like, taking the kid outside?
Yeah.
Well, I obviously hear all the fucking chimes
Yeah.
and shit. I turn around and I go, hey, Montgomery.
Yeah, we're going home.
No, it's, keep her, in the circle.
Are you? Oh, okay. You sure of this? Because I think we should be going home now.
Keep her in the circle real quick. I need to talk to you.
All right. He's looking down to the child, gripping onto his hand, and he looks up at the daemon and goes, "Oh, fuck, here we go. This is children. This is why I hate children. I'm gonna go for. Okay, I'm just going to talk to my friend here a second. Then we're gonna try and get you out of here. All right? Just stand right here. We won't be out. We won't be out of sight. Okay, man?
She nods to you, and then just sort of squats down and huddles, and is watching both of you, just head going back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on.
Monty walks over and he's just kind of shoulder to shoulder with Damon and goes, "Yeah, what?"
Okay.
have you got?
As we're facing away from the kid, I just go. Okay. So I don't know if you fucking know what's going on, but that kid is a fucking bomb. Okay.
What?
All right.
This escalated.
So, whoever fucking did this fucking hack job to this fucking child, fucking, I don't know what the fuck they thought they were doing. Her fucking soul is connected to a fucking demon that I don't even, like, fucking know. Like, I don't know the name, I don't know anything about this fucking demon. But if that demon dies, she becomes that fucking demon.
All right.
So, if that demon's fucking doing whatever it was summoned to do, and you only summon something like that when you want, presumably, it as the bigger fish to take care of the other fish fucking problem you got.
Okay.
If it fucking dies, that child is a fucking bomb. And that fucking containment ward that I got going down, you know?
Yeah.
Might do something. Might slow it down.
Okay. So, here's my thoughts on this.
Yeah.
We know enough now that we could probably go back and say, hey, yeah, here's a rough overview of what's fucked up. This is way beyond 2 people solving it. This may be a way larger strike force required situation. Like, apparently, everyone who was in this town simply went into the fields.
Simply went into the...
fields.
I'm gonna burn well read again.
Okay.
To see if I know, because I sensed the spirit magic earlier, to see what kind of spiritual or demonic and like energy would just make people walk into the fields and never come back. Okay. 10.
Are you smoking a cigarette looking at the fields?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're sitting there, mentally shocked. A lot has happened in the past 30 minutes. You're smoking your cigarette, looking into the fields. The sun finally goes down below the horizon, so you lose that golden tint, that golden red tint, and everything sort of takes on a blue hue. You take a drag of your cigarette, you look out into the fields, and you think, I have no idea what the fuck could do that. And then you see some of the grain in the fields disappear. And then some more. And then some more.
Does Monty also
And
see
you
this?
hear the sound of a scythe cutting grain. Roll me an occult check. Both of you.
What could go wrong? That's it's 13.
Abel, no clue.
I'm 1,000-yard stare right now.
Monty, there is, a lot of spirit magic here. And there are some cases of spirits who, the majority of spirits actually, who are caught up in spells, try to help as much as possible, but do not always help the right way. So you think there might be something in the fields collecting grain for people that are no longer here.
Monty pauses for a moment, and he thinks, and he goes, "Okay, I think I'm seeing what may have possibly transpired here.
Yeah.
I think they said that they were going to be on target for the grain delivery, and that was greatly overestimated. They've done a botched job of a spell here, and somewhere along the way, something has clearly gone extra wrong, and now I think it's fair to say town's haunted. Not just a building, the entire town may well be haunted."
As you say this, I'm just gonna nod very quickly, put the cigarette in my mouth, and be like, "Anne," as I start walking towards her, like my character has kind of gone manic at this point. I'm gonna be like, "Can I see your diagram real quick?"
On her back.
Yeah.
She stands up and takes a couple steps back and doesn't say anything, but crosses her arms in front of her and is just looking at you. You could just grab her and look,
Okay.
but she's not wanting to reveal it.
Okay. I'm just gonna my character is gonna take the low road and just fucking do it. Hi, I'm gonna try and negotiate. Okay, low road it is. So my character knows he's trying to rip this band-aid off in his head. So he kind of forgets that she's a living person for a second and just kind of turns her around and looks at the diagram again.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to make another?
No, you did a good job. You are aware of what's going on here. What are you
Okay.
trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out if there's any way for me to stop this demonic connection to her so we don't have a bomb with us, or a contract that you would have a pact with a demon.
So, you know that you could use her to summon the demon to her and put the demon in the same containment ward that she is in,
Yeah.
or you could use arcane magic to dispel the ritual.
Well, that would be fucking fantastic if we had arcane magic, but we have a demonic caster and all the fucking power. I look at Montgomery, and I just go, I'm just gonna put the kid back and look at you with my yellow eyes and just be like, all right, so I have an idea. It's not great.
I don't like where this is going immediately. I don't like where this is going eventually.
Do I see the grain coming going down towards us still?
Yes. Also, roll me another sensitive.
Okay.
Just saying.
13.
So, from your previous check, you realize that this girl was kind of covered up by all the spirit magic, the residual spirit magic, in the healer's house.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can feel a direct link between her and somewhere on the other side of the river, in the middle of the town, there might be where this demon was originally summoned there, which would be very easy to hopefully repair that circle and all that summoning stuff versus trying to do it from scratch, especially because you don't know the demon's name.
Okay. I'm gonna pick up the kit.
She struggles. You need to roll me a athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, I'm gonna roll acrobatics.
Could I potentially assist here by simply telling her to calm down?
You
She seems
could.
to like me more.
Roll me a persuasion or anything like that.
Oh boy, do I have anything else but persuasion? Please, please, dear Lord. Can I somehow swing this as psychology?
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. Phew. That is that is 20. Not a natural 20, but 20.
Okay, so you tell her to calm down. She stops struggling almost immediately, but asks you to carry her.
Without you even saying yes, I toss her into your hands, and then I grab the photograph, dispelling the containment ward, and I put that in my wallet, and I'm like, okay, we have to go. And
Monty looks like he was about to say no, but then he has arms filled with child.
I start, like, basically urging you with, like, my knife pulled out to go, like, follow me.
Oh, yep. All right, yeah. Okay, how am I going? He's just trying to like fidget around, to try and find the perfect way to hold a child and a gun at the same time.
It's not ultra hard.
I'm a good adult, looking after a person here. This is a human. This is a being that I'm responsible for. Yep, and he's just following along.
Okay, so I'm guessing you guys are going to... Are you going to go around like this and
No.
go over the bridge, or are you going to go along the river?
Along the river, because the grain is coming towards us, and I want to get away from the grain.
Okay, so you're going to
Just
go...
saying, I'm just saying, man, we could just leave. This is... I got no guts, no glory, I understand, but quite frankly, I don't want my guts anywhere else but in me.
As, like, you're saying this, I just, like, look over to you, and I'm like, she's a bomb until we fix this.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll
I'll take your word for it.
Look, I really don't want to be on a train ride having her bouncing on your knee and then the whole train's gone. Okay?
I mean, who knows how long she's been here? It might be forever until it might not. Fine, okay. Monty is just distressed at any aspect of having to engage with this child even for a long period of time, but he's coming around to the fact that it's going to have to happen.
Perfect. Okay, so as you guys are going, I need you to roll either spot or listen or wisdom.
I'm going to roll spot.
Okay.
14.
9.
9? Okay. So, both of you, as you're going, notice that these houses seem totally undisturbed. Like, there's no broken windows, there's no kicked in doors, nothing like that. They look like someone just left for the day, and never came back. That is all you notice until you enter the square here in front of the mayor's house, which is labeled as number 1. So you enter this square, and inside the square is a fairly large 20-foot in diameter summoning circle. It's a circle, and then a square, and then a triangle, and then a reverse triangle, and then the circle within that. So the edges are about 5 feet thick of chalk, and then there's some runes inside the center of the summoning circle. Roll me an occult, both of you.
One of my specialties. Come on, don't fuck it up now. That is not great. That is 13.
So,
I rolled a 25 on occult.
Yeah, for a summoning circle. So we're gonna have to roll your sanity again in a second. But,
Oh, really? Again?
yeah. Monty, you know that this was probably not someone designing a summoning circle. This was probably pulled off a scroll or out of a book or a diagram, something like that. This is a very complex summoning circle, and the fact that one person was able to use it is pretty iffy. Abel, you know that there is no way that one person inexperienced enough to do what they did would have been able to do this without the girl. So they used the girl because they also knew that they weren't going to be able to summon this thing. It is likely the only thing that they would have been able to summon because it's the only name they had on a random page pulled out of a random book or scroll from a long time ago that was probably passed down from a demonic mage lineage.
Okay.
Roll me your lowest sanity. Good. You see this,
Phew.
doesn't affect you because you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It's like being on a roller coaster and
The drop is there, and you know it's happening.
Exhilarating, but it's not scary.
Exactly. This is the only place where there is any blood.
Yeah.
Off to the right side as you enter through this little gateway, off to the right side, there is a couple smears of blood, and then claw marks going up onto the roof, over here, and away.
So as we see this, Monty looks at the girl and is like, so, do you know what happened here?
They put me to sleep, and I woke up, and Daddy was dead, and then everyone was trying to get inside, and everyone thought they'd be safe, but then they went to the fields. And she
And they went to the fields.
starts thinking about things and clamming up again and starts to sob.
Okay. Monty's not even going to try it this time. He's just accepting that there is a sobbing child in his arms. Okay. So, Mr. Agent, Mr. Formalized certified agent, please show me how to stop this from happening. He gestures to the circle.
Invigorated by your confidence. I'm just gonna see, like, where the demon's name is. Or, like...
Okay, roll me an occult check, and we'll see what you figure out.
Okay. 16.
You know that the runes, the demonic runes that look like scratch marks written in chalk on the inside, is the demon's name. There is one place where it looks like a large claw has scratched one of those runes out, and you think that is probably what allowed this demon to escape, is whoever summoned it didn't put a ring inside where its name was to keep it from touching its own name. So it changed its name so that it wouldn't be contained, because the name in the actual summoning circle was no longer its true name. And then it could just leave.
Okay.
So, I basically go over to you, and I go,
Okay. Demonology 101.
Finally.
Don't fuck up the demon's name. You see amateur
Sounds-
hour? And I just, like, point at where, like, the demon's claw, like, fucked up the name. Amateur hour.
Okay. Would its name have had to be said out loud?
Uh-huh. And the chanting of this.
Mm-hmm. Its new name, I mean.
So, the new name that's there is just not the demon's name. So it changed it so that the demon that would be contained was no longer its name.
So we don't need the new name, we need the old name. Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, Anna. When everything was happening, do you remember what they were saying?
She just rocks back and forth a little bit and says, I was asleep, remember? They put me to sleep.
Okay.
And they put me in the middle of all of that chalk.
You don't remember anything at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I just remember
that's
waking
fine.
up, and then she starts to sob again.
Okay.
Okay.
There has to be whatever they were reading off. Borrowed homework fucking around here.
Look, I desperately want to investigate with both hands, but currently that's not a possibility.
Like, we're in front of the mayor's house, right?
Yeah.
Is the door
Ooh.
open?
The door is not open. It is closed.
Okay.
At the mention of it being the mayor's house, at the thought of it being the mayor's house, Monty wants to go in desperately.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door if I can.
Okay. You try the handle, it's unlocked.
Okay. So, I burst in, fucking knife out, like, just being like, and then I'm gonna quickly, like, sweep the first floor.
Okay, so this is a fairly open floor plan. It's the entranceway. There's like the coat rack and everything, and then it has stairs going up to the second floor. On the first floor, it has a sitting room off to the right, kitchen in the back, study, and dining room. You sweep through it really quickly. Roll me and investigate.
Okay. 17.
Okay. Monty, what are you doing while he's sweeping this?
So Monty is going to. I'm assuming there's a chair of some sort that the child can be placed upon.
Yeah, there's a sitting room immediately to the right after you get past the small entryway.
Fantastic. The child is being put down.
Okay.
In terms of being put down on a chair, not the other way. And
She is sitting much alive in a chair.
and Monty is going to be going to that study. The study is the one that is most interesting to him, and he's going to be digging in. He's going
Okay.
to be like opening drawers level.
Okay. Also roll me an investigation if you have it. If not...
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Investigation, my second highest thing. That is 16.
Okay. So, Abel, because you're going through very quick, you get to the study last, and you spot a book that's on the desk in the study. Monty, while you're digging around, you find what seems to be very nice leather scroll tucked away in the top desk drawer of the desk that this book is also sitting on. The book is a ledger. The scroll is a leather scroll with the diagram of the summoning circle and the demon's name spelled out below. The demon's name was not included in the summoning circle design. Are you going to read the ledger?
I look at, actually, like, I would know best on demonic names, probably.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to be looking through the ledger, and I'm going to be like, if there's any, like, patio or anything, like, up high, could you see how far away those things are coming? Whatever was getting the grain.
Is that to Monty?
Yeah, to Monty.
Okay.
Oh, would I be able to see it? Looking out the window.
I'm asking for you to get up high and.
Oh, right. Okay. I see what you mean now. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. Should I roll a look again? See, spot.
So you would have to climb to the roof,
Here, I'll be right.
which
Oh,
you would
okay.
have access to. The way the mayor's house is set up is it's multiple stories. The first two are enclosed, and then the top story is sort of like a rooftop pavilion where there would be like parties and stuff like that. So you could go up to that pavilion.
Yeah, I'll go up to that. Yeah.
Okay, so you go up to the pavilion and just take a sweeping look around the entire town and outskirts. Roll me a wisdom check.
It's my turn to roll a 1.
Okay,
So,
you looking out, you don't see anything out of place. You look into the field though, where all the grain was being cut down, and you see where there wasn't before a bushel of grain assembled and tied with twine as if it is ready to be shipped off. But there is no movement in that field now.
Monty makes a gesture as if he was going to take a cigarette out of his pocket, but then stops himself. And he's like, "No, not yet, not yet." And then he kind of half jogs down to inform Damon of what he's just seen.
Okay. Abel, you're looking at the ledger, or are you looking at the spells?
Abel.
So if I notice that I haven't seen the demon's name, I go for the ledger because it's the only, like...
The demon's name is on it, but it's at the bottom. It's spelled out at the bottom, and it matches what was in the circle. You can deduce that it was the correct name because the demon had to scratch it out.
Yeah.
It just didn't integrate it into the summoning circle, so you're going to have to take a guess on how to properly integrate it so it can't touch its own name.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, take out a scratched piece of paper and basically do some demonic arithmetic.
Okay.
Some demonic maths.
A bit of demon calligraphy. So yeah, I think time's getting a bit tight. We need to get this done sharpish. Whatever's happening in in that grain is gonna mess us up.
All right. Fuck. Well, these fuckers probably had a few days to get this set up. I'm okay. I'm just gonna try to see if I can figure this out.
Okay, so you're just sitting there, you grabbed some pen and paper from the desk.
Yeah.
It's all spread out. The ledger is sort of slid to the side, and you're just like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a test run to see if it looks right to me.
Okay.
Nat 20.
A nat 20. So you start doing a bunch of like crazy extra diagrams and stuff, and you're like, oh, they just needed to literally put another circle. Because it's literally just another circle inside where the demonic name is written, so it couldn't touch it. That's all they had to do.
It's the equivalent of all those hacking movies montages where it's like, oh yeah, I'm in, and you're just like drawing all the circles and triangles, and it's like, yes, it's perfect, everything's right.
All right. From like the demonic diagram, like, does the girl have to be like in the center, or what does she have to?
She needs to be in there with the demon. But the demon will be stuck so that you get to do a contract with it.
Well, they put her asleep. It might be a good idea for us to put her to sleep.
There would be some sleeping juice over here in the healer's hut.
Sleeping juice, yes. Alright,
Oh, I can't draw a circle.
I'm assuming this is related to Monty as well.
No. I literally just look at you after like you come in, seeing all these diagrams on the floor, and then I go, "Okay, here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I can make the circle work better than these people did. To
Great.
basically do what they were going to do, which is summon a demon to fix their issue.
Mm-hmm.
The caveat is, we need the girl in the middle of the circle because I'm not as good. I'm not good enough to just summon this fuck without their shortcut.
Okay.
So she can't leave the circle, or it might be able to get out again.
Will she be okay? Like, what will happen to her in this situation?
Well, the demon probably wouldn't kill her because she's basically his backup.
Alright, good.
But I don't know if the girl can handle a demon being summoned on top of her.
Fair. What do we do after that's happened?
So, what went wrong with them is that the demon could destroy... you know my containment field ward that I did around the other building?
Mm-hmm.
They just needed to do one around his name, so he couldn't physically touch it. It was just a short oversight that made all of this fucking happen.
I see. Okay.
But if I have fixed that, I've put up extra protections, so this demonic entity shouldn't be able to break free.
So effectively, we'd be finishing off what they did, and hopefully containing the demon in such a way that where the threat part of all this issue is done.
Yeah.
Neutralized.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in favor of this.
So we have to find a way to keep the girl in as well.
Now, I'm a bit nervous about the concept of going towards the other side of town when it would appear that the fields are reaped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel awful for even saying this. Just truly awful, but have you seen any rope?
Have I seen any rope, Joe?
So,
Have you seen any rope?
there, in the mayor's house, there are a lot of different things that could be implemented as rope, like clothes and curtains, and probably some twine or something like that in the kitchen, for tying off sacks and stuff like that. You could probably find a small girl-sized sack to just stuff her in if that's the way you want to go with this.
So I go into the kitchen, I dump out a bunch of potatoes from a potato sack, vaguely girl-sized, and I come back and I go, well, so far you've been the best with children, and I hand you the sack.
I hate...
I'm
Okay.
gonna be doing some scripture outside, and then I take my diagram, the papers, and head out, grab some chalk.
Okay.
Mr. Abel, you suck, but okay. And Monty just kind of go, okay, how am I gonna swing this? How am I gonna? All right, I've got. Here's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna go back into the living room, and hopefully Anna's still there.
She is in the sitting room.
Okay. Hey Anna,
Yeah?
we have a solution to the problem,
Mm-hmm.
but
You're gonna fix everything?
we're gonna
You're gonna bring Daddy back?
maybe. And Monty feels bad even saying it, but.
She smiles a
But-
little, and like it's the first time you've seen her happy.
As happy as she is equal to how bad Monty feels about how this is going to pan out.
She doesn't
But-
feel that happy, but she does feel slightly happy.
But Monty gestures to the sack in his hands And it's like, so, to save everything that happens, to try and fix everything, we need you to get in the bag. We need you to get in the fucking bag.
I need you to roll something, whatever you think would work best in this case.
Okay. We've got as my witness. I don't think there is any role on the character sheet or any character sheets that ever covers convincing a child to crawl
Charm,
into a sack.
psychology, deception, all of those would apply in this case.
Psychology is the best thing I've got. I'm gonna go for psychology.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, okay, kid, look. If you want to help save the day, we need you to crawl into the sack, cover your ears and close your eyes, and just keep saying the names of everyone you love. And that's a 15.
She gets in the sack.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. And she starts whispering the names of everyone she knows in the town over and over and over again.
Monty's gonna tie up the end of the sack and carefully lift her, carry her outside, and his eyes are not like half closed because he's just like, I don't want to think about what I'm doing here. This case has gone so wrong.
So as you exit the building, roll me a wisdom check. Travis, roll me a listen check.
Okay. It's wisdom for me. So that's only a 15.
Okay.
It's a 18, 19.
Okay. So as you come out, Monty, you see a spindly scarecrow standing on two peg legs that are about 6 feet tall, quietly, with a scythe in hand, sauntering up behind Abel Damon. Its pumpkin head turns 180, looks at you, turns back, starts sprinting silently towards Abel. I need you guys to both roll initiative. Monty, do you say or do anything as soon as you see it?
He's going to be yelling, "Look out."
Okay, then we all get to roll initiative as normal.
So that's a d20 plus dex, which is 16.
What was that for you?
11.
Okay, so Monty, you get to go first. Then it's Abel. Then it is the Scarecrow.
So I'm going to assume, given the action economy and the fact that I have a bag of child in my arms, I'm gonna be doing my turn as effectively putting the bag of child down and taking my gun out, and that's pretty much going to be it, I think. I'm not sure if I can do more than that.
It depends if you drop the child, because that would be a free action, then a bonus action to pull your gun and then shoot.
It's a free
but-
action to drop the child.
Yeah, because it's like you're just letting go to grab your gun.
Like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, like a sack of potatoes.
You know what? I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna drop the child. I'm gonna place her down quickly, but with care given to her feeble child body.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna go. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my turn. Putting the child down, getting gun in hand again.
Okay. The red mark is where the Scarecrow is. Oh, I should have used orange. Abel, you are alerted by Monty's warning. Turn around, I'm assuming, and see an 8-foot tall Scarecrow with a scythe within 5 feet. It was about to get you.
Okay, so Abel Damon has had a pretty rough day so far.
Sure.
Stands up and goes, This is the best way for the day to end. And I pull out me knife. Actually, no. I'm going to grab a pinch of sulfur and cast green flame on it.
Okay. Roll a
Actually.
cult to cast.
Yeah.
It still goes off
Okay.
at an 8. I have to pay full price for it, though, and it gets no buffs. So.
Yeah. So it's 2 hit points to do it quick, 1 hit point to do it as your standard action.
Fuck it. I'm going to do 2 hit points to cast it quick, and then I'm going to go in with the knife afterwards because it's within striking distance of me.
Okay. What damage type is the knife? Is it slashing?
Slashing and piercing.
What are you doing? Are you stabbing or cutting it?
I'm going to probably try to cut it open.
Okay.
Do a dex saving throw for the scarecrow.
For green flame. It, I do believe, succeeds.
Yeah.
So it's running towards you, and then it does a quick side dash as a glob of green flame flies past it.
I go, oh, that's not great. And then I try to stab it. I mean, not stab it. I try to cut its stomach or whatever.
It's sticks. It's all just made of sticks covered in burlap, and up close you can see that the leather that you saw on these scarecrows earlier is human flesh.
Yeah, I try to cut the... I cut. I just
Okay,
cut.
you're just slashing wildly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Roll an attack.
9.
It, as you slash, does a weird thing where it, like, cracks the actual wood that's acting as its spine backwards, and you just miss, and then it cracks back, and it lunges forward the last couple feet, and since it's its turn, it's gonna take a swing at you
Okay.
with this
Here we
scythe.
Oh, definitely.
That is 17. So
what type of damage is this?
it is slashing,
Fuck.
and it is a D8.
This has been a really good day for Damon Abel.
Okay, so...
That's 9 total damage.
Okay. I'm gonna do Die Hard because I'm the only one who can finish this ritual.
Oh god, yeah.
I'm gonna lose my eye.
Okay, so it comes in with the scythe. It's doing a slash. You turn into it, and you're like, not today. And you're trying to maybe like catch it on the horns or something, and it does. It chips off the horn, and then the point of the scythe goes in and rips out your eye.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
You are now
Not having a
bleeding
good day.
out of your eye. It's just dripping down your face. Thank God this little girl's in a sack and not seeing any of this. Monty, it is your go.
So effectively, I'm imagining the timing of this is Monty yells "Look out!" is getting down to put the child down, sees the scarecrow sprinting, gets his gun out just in time, and is preparing to shoot as the scythe makes contact.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, no! And I'm gonna go for a rapid shot to fire twice.
Okay.
And so
You are shooting into melee combat. If you, for some reason, roll a nat 1, it will hit Abel Damon, junior agent, only
What's-
demonic caster.
what are the chances?
What are the
You
chances?
know? What are the chances?
5% twice.
Yeah, it's fine. So, I'm firing twice. I get a +1 because I've got weapon focus in handguns.
Mm-hmm.
Can I also use my secondary action here to take aim?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
All right. So I'm taking aim, which means the first one gets an extra +2, I believe.
Mhm.
So first shot gets. a
You
total
add your
of
dex
+2.
modifier as well.
Oh, and dex.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, the numbers. All right. So we're looking at +1, +2, +2. So +5 to hit on the first shot, +3 to hit on the second one. I think. All right, here we go. Come on, Lady Luck. First one is a 7 + 5. That's a nice handy 12.
That one misses. So
Oh,
you
damn it,
shoot,
okay.
and it goes through the pumpkin head, like it slices through the edge of the pumpkin head, but alas, that head is just a pumpkin.
Just a pumpkin, okay. And the second shot, That is way better. That's a 19.
Okay, the 19, there is... You shoot first at the first one that misses, goes through the edge of the pumpkin. The second one, dead center, hits the middle of the pumpkin. The pumpkin explodes. So it just reveals that the stick that was sitting in the middle of the pumpkin, that gets split in half. Roll your damage.
Alright, it's a d10. That is a 9.
Alright, let me double check real quick. Because being a scarecrow, it is resistant to piercing, so that does 4 total damage.
Good start.
Where the pumpkin was, these 3 phantom sprites that were floating inside the pumpkin all sort of stopped floating as soon as you had shot it, and you can't tell because they don't have eyes or anything, but you feel like it's focusing on you now.
Oh no. Oh no.
It is essentially turned around, so it is flanked at this moment for you,
Okay.
Travis.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did last turn, which is
Green
burn
flame.
health, fucking shoot.
Lose an eye?
Yeah, that is probable.
Who knows?
Okay, so I cast it. I'm gonna not pay the cost, and I'm also gonna add a +1. So it's a
Okay.
dex save of
14?
14. Yeah.
It,
Oh fucking Christ!
even not paying attention, you go to throw it exactly in the middle, and it just goes to the side and splashes in front of it. So now there is a small bit of fire in front of it that will have to pass around.
Okay, I'm gonna try and stab it square in the chest, and then drag my knife down.
Okay.
To see if I can just split this fucker open. Okay. Do I get any bonuses?
It's flanked, so you get a +2.
Okay. Fantastic.
I'll call this slashing.
Fuck my dicks. That's only a 10.
Okay, so you go to slash it, you end up cutting some of the skin and burlap and everything that's sewn together open,
Yeah.
and it just reveals more of these sprites that are floating around.
Okay.
It is going to take off at a charge to reach Monty. You get an attack of opportunity, though.
Okay.
So-
Let's try this again. 13 this time.
13, that will make contact.
Okay.
So you actually slash it across its wooden spine.
Okay.
As it's running towards me, can I use my reaction to use my run to cover? To try and get a bit more distance.
Is that a reaction?
Yes.
It is? Yeah, if it's a reaction, you can use it.
Sweet.
You see its
So-
intent. So you can dive back into the entryway of the mayor's house.
I did 4 slashing damage.
4
to it.
slashing? Okay. So Monty, you dive back into the mayor's house.
Effectively, the second I see it turn around, I'm like, oh shit. I'm just like stepping, like stumbling backwards, trying to get as much distance as possible.
Okay, so for the moment, you break line of sight. You hear it make a weird crackling scream, like someone threw a bunch of fresh wood into a fire. It takes off, and the next thing you see is a scarecrow in the doorway, burning with green flame, scythe in hand. It lifts it up and collapses to the ground as the flame consumes all the spindly wood and twine and leather and burlap that it is made up of. All the sprites just fade away into the ether as the scarecrow collapses.
I still shoot it again. As it's collapsing, I still shoot it again.
Okay, so you shoot it a couple times. It is taken care of. It is no longer a threat. Combat is over.
All right. I'm still pointing the gun at its remains. Just in case. Just in case.
Okay. It does nothing. No matter how close to you it gets, the spirits piloting it have dispersed.
Okay.
Just staring at the remains. Just Abel. Abel.
I'm gonna rip like my shirt and make a makeshift eye patch real quick.
Okay.
Just to stop the bleeding.
Roll medicine if you have it.
I'm gonna just burn my well-read
Okay.
for medicine.
Oh, sorry.
Shit.
Yeah, you know how to make a tourniquet for your head.
Fantastic.
Your
Lord.
eye is off to the side. If you want to collect it, it is cut pretty much cleanly in two.
Well,
All
I
the
do need
fluids.
I need an emotional component for demonic summoning, so I'm putting my eye part of the ritual
Okay, that works.
because I was very attached to that eye.
But
Monty is stepping out and stepping over the remains and looks over at you, picking up your own eye. And I feel like I should roll sanity for this, you know? Like, just can I optionally just roll for like violence?
you
Yes.
can.
Here we go. Please don't fuck up now. Thank God, just barely. Well, I got an 11. Just, Monty is uncomfortable at the sight of someone picking up their own eye, but he's keeping it together.
A lot has happened.
Do we make a supernatural check after that fight?
No, because you guys have made a couple before now already.
Yeah.
So it was, and you also saw something happening, so you were mentally semi-prepared.
Okay.
So, and also you already had a break, so I'm gonna be nice for when you summon a demon.
Fair. Okay. I just, as I'm holding my face, I just go, all right, just put the kid, like as I'm just holding my face.
You gonna be okay, man?
The sooner this is over, the sooner I can do other things.
You know what? I want to question it. I want to make sure you're alright, but I'd rather get the hell out of here. So, yeah. And I'd just holstering the gun, picking up the child bag,
Okay.
hoping she's okay in there.
She
And-
is still just repeating the names of all of her loved ones.
Fantastic. I can't believe I just fantastic to that. I'm putting the child in the circle.
Okay, she is in the circle. There would have been some blood loss inside the circle. Do you want to roll occult to see if that will change anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
24, actually.
You know that is okay.
If
Fantastic.
anything, it's better. Okay.
And if anything, it's more enticing for the demon to come for a little bit of blood sacrifice
Yeah.
as well.
Well, I'm bleeding from my eye, so I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't fuck everything up as I finish up the ritual coasting off of that nat 20 diagram.
Okay. You're able to make the diagram. The girl's in the center. You have your eye as part of the summoning sacrifice.
Monty is just kind of looking at Damon during this, and is just like kind of like genuinely like, you know what? This guy is an agent. He's lost an eye, but he's still doing the job.
Gotta do
This is
what
this
you
is
gotta
what
do.
differentiates.
Okay.
This is the cut of a man who is an agent of the government.
Are you guys ready to do some summoning?
Basically, I'm gonna close the gate and stuff to make sure that like no one runs in and interrupts us. And then I'm gonna look Montgomery in the eye and just go, my eye to his eyes. And I go,
Monty does not like looking at this.
are you ready?
Reloading.
Because once we start, we can't stop.
Yeah. We've come this far. There's no reason to stop.
Because I need you.
I'm on board. You don't need to convince me anymore. I've put a child in a bag today.
All right. Well, if you're gonna do it, roll occult.
Yeah.
And Monty, you can assist with this because you can do the chant with him.
Yep. So do I roll as well, or is it just?
Yep,
help
you
me
just
roll?
both roll occult, and then it will just add a +2 because you don't have occult with friends.
I got a 12.
I got a 16, so that makes it an 18.
Okay, so you're both chanting over and over again this demon's name to summon it back to this point. The girl is in the sack. The eyeball is sitting in the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
The ground inside the circle seems to shimmer a little bit as if there is a mirage, but just within the summoning circle. The little girl floats up about 3 feet off the ground. The eye floats about 12 feet off the ground. All the blood that was in the circle starts to swirl up, congeal around the eye. There is a strong smell of sulfur as this weird, thick, yellow-gray gaseous cloud starts to form in the base of the circle. It starts to swirl. A couple of loud thunderclaps happen. There is a lightning strike, and in between the split second where you are blinded by that lightning strike, there is a demon 12 foot tall that is summoned in the middle of the circle. It is up on its 2 hind legs. 4 forelegs have scooped up the girl in the sack. It has 2 heads that are somewhere between an alligator and an anteater, as if horribly fused together. And the 2 heads are fighting over the eye until one gets the eye, the one on the left, and then the other one starts to sulk, and that head focuses on both of you and says in a deep guttural voice, "Thank you for the sacrifice. Do you want
is the
to
sound of me
make
rolling sanity.
another contract?" Both of you roll supernatural, and then after that, a morality saving throw. So it's 2, because there's a little girl in the circle.
Well, supernatural, I got a 20 on.
Ooh.
So for supernatural, I got a 2.
It's better. So
Well, do I get anything for a 20? Or is it just...
yes. So you're actually going to, for the rest of this, like, not scene, but like overall mission, any supernatural check, you can use a reroll. So you did so well on this one that if there's another supernatural check that you fail, or any check in general, let's say, you can use a reroll to reroll that sanity. So Travis, you took 3 more sanity.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
please roll your morality saving throws. So if you fail this one, Monty, you can re-roll it.
You rolled a 20 again?
Okay. You're a man unfazed.
Okay, so
20.
morality I
Comes
also
to
failed.
sanity.
Because it's my worst one.
Take another 3. How close
Oh
are
my
you to
God.
a psychic break?
Dude, I'm 4 away.
Okay, that's not too bad. All right,
One thing
so
when it comes to sanity checks, it's fine.
So Monty, you're totally fine. You're to the point where you would feel perfectly normal actually delegating the contract with this demon. You're not afraid. You're not moved by it. You're like, we got to get this shit done today.
The most uncomfortable thing to Monty is the fact that he's comfortable.
Abel has a bit of a trauma.
A bit of a trauma.
Two traumas that have occurred in rapid succession. But it speaks to you both in a low guttural tone that is inside your heads and says, "I see you want to reformat our contract." And then it smiles with a bunch of gnarled, gross, festering teeth. But it's a human-ish smile, like what a dog does.
So this is the point where Monty actually takes out a cigarette and lights it.
It's looking between you two, trying to see which one of you is going to be the one that does the contract. Whoever speaks first, unless it is explicitly said that both of you are formatting the contract, then it's only the person who speaks first, and whatever they say is taken as the contract.
Monty is looking. Monty is looking to Abel. It's like, please. I don't know how to do this bit at all. I thought this would be union breaking. I thought this would be anarchists. Suddenly we're looking at Imhotep. Like, this has gone drastically way beyond my purview. Please help me. I'm sorry about your eye, but please help me.
So, Abel is just like looking at what he's done, and while he was basically while he was theory crafting, he wasn't ready for it to become into practice, and now that it worked, he's like, what have I fucking done? He goes and goes state the original contract.
In the deep guttural voice, the demon says, the contract was to disperse all the spirits in the fields and then be able to feed on whichever 3 I selected from this town. They failed to account for the circle's malmaintenance. And then it chuckles with the other head and this high-pitched coyote-like squeal. I see you have repaired the circle. I am dealing with true amateurs this time.
Monty looks away. He's like, yeah, I kind of am, aren't I?
I pull out like a really broken fucking cigarette and I go, this time you will uphold your contract that was given previously. The souls of the reaped are up for your grabs, but the child shall remain unharmed and
Tainted?
what am I looking
Blessed.
for? Oh, I was gonna say like something better, but like
Out of bounds?
and soul will remain intact.
That's good. Monty's like giving thumbs up.
This contract is agreeable, and then its other head starts laughing again.
I turn to Montgomery and I'm like, I'm not in the best headspace. Do you? Is there any monkey paw bullshit that you see?
I'm gonna go for a sense motive.
Okay.
I feel like sense motive to see if there's anything being neglected here. That is that's not bad. That's a 19 plus 5.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You realize that the reason the demon is so happy is because the original contract included 3 lives from this town, and that is not expunged in the new contract. And there's only 3 people still alive right now, which are the 3 people that it is looking forward to eating, which is you 3. So unless that is repaired and phrased as you already took those 3, you do not get any more lives, finish out the contract, then it will kill 3 of you.
Monty is like, you know what? This sounds pretty good. Wait, hold up. It's already had its payment. It just needs to fulfill its end of the bargain. It's already had its part of it.
Yes.
Get more.
You have already been paid. Do the mission as intended. You have already taken more than your fill of the payment, and your contract has not been filled.
When you say you have taken more than your fill of the payment, it throws itself bodily into the summoning circle. It is still contained, but you notice that when it does that, some of the chalk
Moves.
moves.
Oh god.
It says, I took only the payment I was offered and contractually obligated to take. Do
Well-
not think me above my contract.
Well, then fulfill your contract and destroy all the spirits in this town and in the fields.
It narrows its eyes, all four of them, and it sets the girl down, and it says, agreed.
Montgomery, am I missing anything?
Um,
As like I nudge you with my elbow, and you don't know if it's blood or I'm just crying.
something's up there. Midorossen's motive again.
Mm-hmm.
This is not as good. This is a 7, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I got a 7 this time.
Everything seems to check out now.
One small thing I would probably add. Technically, it could be argued that we are spirits or souls in this town. Perhaps add like a time thing of starting in an hour after we've left.
Well, the problem is we have to get through all the scarecrows.
Oh shit. Ah shit.
Sidebar.
Sidebar. Yep. Could we just run?
We could just
mean, I
run,
don't-
but
I don't think we can outrun them.
I've already lost an eye, and they sprint pretty fucking quick.
You know what? Let's just specify just the Fey spirits. Oh shit, she's Fey.
No, these...
No, she's spirit. She's spirit Dark Eater, isn't she?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep, there's that.
And these things are presumably Fey.
Well,
Or are they spirit?
I already said that she was exempt, so I think
Okay.
that's covered. And I said her
All
soul
right.
should be like also, our souls are not considered as spirits under this contract.
Sweet.
It rolls its four eyes all in sync, and then the coyote laughing head that hasn't spoken the whole time just goes, it's like,
Alright.
fine.
I just remembered slash read that I also have law as a skill. So I need
If
to
you-
keep this in mind.
If you want to use that real quick to just, like, remember everything and see if there's any tiny fine points, you can.
I'm gonna go for that. I'm rolling law. Never mind. Oh, no. That's 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. There is one small issue in all of this, which is no one directly said that it needs to unlink its soul with the girl's soul. So, unless that is clearly stated, it will not do that under any circumstance.
We should probably also say go back to hell once you're done.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
Monty just goes, yeah, just add these two little things.
Okay.
And then I think we're clear.
Okay. After you are finished with your mission, you will unlink your soul from this little girl and go back to hell where you belong.
It throws itself against the summoning circle again to check again. The chalk moves a little bit, but holds, and it gets down on all 6 of its legs like a mongoose ready to strike, and it says, I'm already in hell. And then it says, I confirm the contract.
And you will go back to where you came before these people summoned you.
Hell. Hell. Actual hell.
It slams again. This time the chalk doesn't move, and it realizes that there's no way it can escape the summoning circle, and it says, yes.
Okay.
All right,
think
this seems pretty solid.
Confirm the contract. And it takes a claw and it scratches a symbol into its own forehead and presses that symbol up against the summoning circle.
Do you have to do the same thing?
I pull out my knife and I
Oh.
do the same symbol, exact same fucking way that it did it. Just to let you know, I have poisonous blood,
Okay.
so if that does anything, no. Okay.
It's still separated by the
Yeah.
summoning circle.
Okay.
It's
I did
just
that.
this is essentially a blood like handshake.
Yeah.
But actually binding.
Yeah. Okay, I do so, and yeah, what happens?
So you do so, the protection ward drops.
Yeah.
All the chalk is blown away in every direction. It sets the girl down, pulls her gingerly out of the sack, like enough to expose her back, licks it with both heads. All the symbols are gone.
Yeah.
Sets her down in the sack, and then runs off into the fields. But it's this weird, where the body's going, there's this silhouette that follows, and the body seems to have one head now, and the silhouette has the other. And you see them split and start making a circle in the fields.
Okay. Okay, Anna. Get back in the sack.
Okay, and she just like pulls it back up over her head. And then
Good.
she starts saying the names because she doesn't know that it's over yet.
Good enough. Good enough. Closing up the sack, carrying it. Like, I'm dragging her out of here. I want her to have as little interaction with the rest of the town as possible.
Okay, so you guys are leaving?
I just go to, like, any car that is open and has keys in it.
Okay, so in this part of town, this is essentially where they do all the loading of everything and then drive it out.
Okay.
So you guys can just
Beautiful.
go there, find a car. Do either of you have drive?
I have drive as a
Okay,
skill.
roll me.
I have drive and also 2 eyes.
That's a
That's
good point.
fair. I'll just sit on the other side, shotgun, looking out the window.
Okay, so you fairly easily find a truck,
Yeah.
find keys in it. They're just in the visor. Start it up, run smooth. I need you to make a drive check real quick.
Alright. That is 15.
Okay, you drive down the road out of this town. Every now and again, you see a large swath of grain part, and it's either the demon or it's Shadow. And a couple of times you see it just bite a scarecrow in two and then move on to the next field. It's just stomping out everything here. As you're going down the road, you see your driver's still there, smoking a cigar, and he's just like, "You good?
You want to head out, mate?
All right, you want to drive with me?"
Kinda.
I don't want to.
I'm
All right.
should I drive or do you want this guy to drive?
No, you're making all the decisions now. I've made too many decisions.
You look a little
today.
fucked up, mate.
Yeah, you know what? Let's abandon this car. Let's let him drive.
All right. And he just lets you guys get in, and he's like, "I'm on cigar number 6. That took a while." And he just puts it in reverse, does a perfect flip turn, and then peels out. And he's like, "Nope, don't tell me. I don't want to know a damn thing."
Great. Hey, do you happen to have a first aid kit? I think my buddy here could use it.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, in the glove box."
Dandy.
So, heard this was your first mission. Agent Octopus sent you out here? The cheeky bastard.
Yeah, cheeky's one word for it.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I used to work with him. Till he retired me. It's a pretty forced retirement. And he just pulls up one of his pants legs and taps on a soul mender leg and then puts it back down. He's like, bastard.
Monty just slowly looks over to the other agent in the car, whose eye is gone and is bleed. I swear, probably I imagine still has blood around his mouth.
Yeah.
And also dripping out of his eye.
Mm-hmm. And my nose.
And nose. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
And Monty's just like, huh. Agents are really heroic.
All right. With that thought in mind, you guys get driven back to the train station. The guy buys you tickets on the next train to head home. This would be enough of a mission to level you up to level 2. So if we end up doing another game, maybe we can be
Great.
level 2.
Fantastic.
In any case, thank you both for playing. I hope it was fun and creepy enough for Halloween spooky times.
Mm-hmm.
That was good for Halloween spooky times, absolutely.
Yes. All right. Well, that'll end it for us. Thank you to everyone who has actually watched this. That is much appreciated.
Mwah.